want to show you how to make a super simple grapevine using some of the supplies that we got in the April wreath supply box. I'm going to be going to my old faithful friend here, which is the ficus. I love, love, love working with the ficus to incorporate a really good foundation. And let me show you how easy this is. I take my ficus and I cut it into 3. Just like that. The long, tall stem top, and then I'm going to use this longer stem for the bottom. The cool thing about the ficus is it does bend. Again, it does bend. I'm going to start with this long one at the top. Oh, and my it was not working. Okay, well, we're going to do this anyway and let that heat up for just a second. I'm going to put it right in here. I go right in the middle. And I usually come about a third of the way down, maybe even halfway down, because I don't want it sticking up so far, it's not going to make any sense. Notice how I bent that. The next thing I'm going to do that with another color. When it's patriotic season, I like to do like the tan and the blue or the red and the blue. We get these colors in our wreath supply box, and I am down for it. I like working with ficus. I think it's so universal. Just cut it to where it looks conducive. I'm getting down in there with my detail tip. If it doesn't want to stick, I will pull it up out of there and get a good glob on there. Okay, now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do a red one. Notice I'm going into where the debris is, all the leaves and things like that on the grapevine. I'm doing that very intentionally. That one's going to be on the bottom. Now for this one, I am going to cut it a little bit shorter. Now notice I'm coming down instead of out. I'm following the line of the grapevine. You don't have to have this part perfect. All I want is just a foundation. That's it. I just want something behind what I'm about to put on there. Now remember that long one I told you we're going to save for the end? Just like the top. I have a long one at the top and a long one at the bottom. Now we have all this to do another project with. And actually up here at the top, I am going to add some more red. I don't like how naked that is up there. So I am going to grab this little beauty right here. It has a long 3-inch stem and it's just screaming to be used. I'm going to go right on top of that. It was too naked up there. Okay, so what we're going to do next is this is going to be the easiest thing you've done all day, like I said. Go ahead and spread all this out. You want to do this prior to putting it on. You know which way is the back because of the spine right here. So you want to make sure that it's very pretty. This one seems a little bit more full to me than this one. Oh, they're different colors. One is more primitive than the other. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to switch gears. One is more primitive, and I'm going to switch to a classic red, white, and blue. So we're going to do the exact same thing, except for I need for some of this to be down here, okay? I do need for some of these florals, so when you have a situation like I just had, just split it like the Red Sea. It's still going to turn out fine, okay? It's going to be just fine. So you're going to cut this, and you're going to cut that. I actually want it like this because the bow is going to be coming really full down here. I have another one of these, and I'm going to go ahead and add it. This is from another order, but I'm going to go ahead and add it. I need it to be super full. This is not from the resupply box. These are not, but these are poppy sprays, and they're going to match beautifully with that ribbon. So we're going to go ahead and because that has more. I still need all of that, okay? So we're just going to sneak it right up underneath there, just like this, okay? Now we're going to take a couple of zip ties, and we're just going to zip tie it. All of the mechanics are going to be hidden, so don't worry about things showing like ends of the stems or anything like that. Now, I do like to add two, and the reason is I'll put the ribbon right between here so it won't slide. That's what I like to do. So, as you see, I'm just going to lay it beautifully right on top of here. And what I do when I add this, I come around a stem. There's always a meaning to my madness. When you see me work around a big anchor stem like this or an anchor twig, that's what I'm doing. I want that anchor twig to be where I attach my bows, where I attach my main florals, all of the things. So I'm just going to add that entire bundle right to our gorgeous, gorgeous, lush grapevine. Right in between those two. I like to do that in the ribbon. It doesn't enable it to slide when you do that. Okay? So now look, you have a foolproof method that now you can really start to make super airy. Look at this. Now, don't forget, okay, don't forget about the area behind the bow. So that's why on these particular stems, as I'm pulling them up, I'm also pulling them around. Okay? Don't forget about that. That way the ficus can be seen. Now, I like to, on some of these wired, well, these ones aren't going to work, but these ones are wired, and I pull them up. I make sure my stuff is 3D. Okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a super luscious bow. Before I make the bow, let's go ahead and attach the sign. You can use DAP, super glue, whatever you want. I use some hot glue. Okay, so I like to use the 20-inch pipe cleaners when I'm doing a project like this, and I'm attaching a sign to a big old juicy grapevine like this. It just makes my life much easier. So now, all I have to do is I'm coming right down through there. All right. That smashed it a little bit, but oh my goodness. Now, I did smash it just a smidge. Calm down, calm down. Now, how cute is that? Now, we're going to know what size to make our bow. Now, I do want some tails, so I always do about 17 to 18-inch tails. And I'm going to do what I like to call a vertical bow. Pinch, twist, loop. But this is going to be a smaller vertical bow. I don't want anything covering up this sign. So it's definitely only 5 to 6 inch loops. And then I cut one side shorter than the other. Put it right on top of there. Pinch, twist, loop. Again, small, small. 5, maybe 6 inch loops. I don't want any of it covering up any part of that sign. I'm going to do this rickrack in a smaller loop. But I realized I forgot to do my main event ribbon other than my gorgeous poppy ribbon. I wanted this behind all of this. But I didn't want a giant loop. And you're going to be like, Tammy, why? Because the loop being 4 inches is going to cover it up. But a tail will not. So all I'm going to do is cut about 24 inches. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and cinch this. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to measure. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and fold it like a taco, cut it towards the sunshine, just like that. I just want there to be a really fun, bold tail. I don't want the loops. So we're going to cinch it, and on this fabric, you need to pleat it, which is what I just did. You need to like accordion fold it, because if not, it lays real funky and it doesn't lay right. And your ribbon will be bunchy and it will be wrinkly at the top. It's like ooey. All right, now we have this really pretty bow, but I need to cover up this zip tie, okay? I need to cover that up. And I also, while I'm doing that, I need to go ahead and get a chenille stem to attach it to the grapevine. So let me show you how I do this. It's actually really easy. I'm going to lay this over, okay? I just want it to be pretty and finished. I pull it pretty tight. This needs to be, that buckle needs to be off to the side or it's not going to lay right. Just like this. Pull it tight. Now, lay your chenille stem in there. Okay, just like that. And while that's drying and I'm really pushing on it, I'm going to go ahead and take care of the bottoms of the ribbons. And I'm going to go ahead and dovetail all of them, making sure some are not super longer than the others, like that one. That fancy panty ribbon always wants to be longer than everybody. Now up here at the top, it's real important that you get a really good dovetail on these as well. Now we have a white chenille stem. All we're going to do is come right underneath there, and we're going to come right in here, twist it like it's our job. A gorgeous, gorgeous, super fun, super beautiful patriotic wreath with some matching embellishments that nobody else is going to have. So on these, I like to, and that's, you can just pull those around. It's going to be super fine. Just like that. That one's a little bit longer. I'm totally okay with that. But look how pretty that is. I have white Real Touch roses that are much better quality. I think I'm going to use. When you have an elegant wreath like this, I need for the roses to be out of this world. And if they're chintzy looking roses, they cannot be on my watch. Look at that. Put one there. Just stinking fantastic. You can't have a better, more simple wreath than that right there, friends. So there you go, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this blog. I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial, and I hope that you try this with some of your wreath supply box stuff from April of 2026, and you really enjoy the patriotic season. All right?